Hi everyone, this is Darren. Just going to do a quick look at the Nexus 4 from Google and LG. I've done a full review on my website at darrenricher.co.uk, but this is a look at the device, basically just to give you an overview of how it's working for me so far. I've had it a week and I'm enjoying it lots. Confession, I have rooted and installed a custom ROM already. I just couldn't help myself. Basically, I currently have the Monaco custom ROM. As you can see there, you have to excuse me, this camera isn't the best. It is there, so it's running really well so far. I'm enjoying it. Obviously this isn't the general home screen. I've got some widgets installed on here, but basically I just wanted to show you like how smooth and how quick the ROM works. It's like smooth as, very fast. Quick overview of the hardware. As you can see, we've got the 4.7-inch screen with a Gorilla Glass, which is really nice to use, and with these little rounded edges, it just feels really nice when you're doing the swipes from the edges, and that's really nice. On the back here, you've got that little kind of matrixy kind of style, which some people like, some people don't, but I don't mind at all. As far as I'm aware, the back isn't Gorilla Glass, so that's probably prone to scratches. You've got the volume rockers there, micro USB and the power button, and then you've got your headphone jack there. One of the things that's new about this version of Jelly Bean 4.2 is the lock screen widgets. Really, I don't see the point of them personally, but obviously some people find use of them. More apps are starting to bring them in now, so you can put more things on. But for me, it's pointless because, you know, when I unlock my phone, I don't want to see like loads of things. Basically, I want to see one or two things at the most, whether it's just the clock or you know, well, basically just the clock. I don't really see any point of having anything else. What's the point of having everything displayed on your lock screen? It doesn't make it very secure. Anyways, so basically you've got the lock screen there. You swipe, and obviously on the lock screen as well, you can swipe up to go into Google Now. Google Now works really well. Very useful. Gives you the distance to your travel times if you've got them in the calendar, which kind of encourages you to put more detail in your calendar when you're putting events in, because it does pops up and tells you when you should set off, and that's really useful. General performance is dead good. My battery life is quite good at the moment. I'm checking this with Battery Stats, which is a little app on the XDA, which is quite useful just to kind of see how what kind of battery life you're getting. My average time life according to this is 15 hours. I've got 7 hours left, 47%. And obviously that depends on what you're using, but this is good because it gives you a bit of an idea of what's using the actual battery life, so it's quite useful. So that's good. That's called Battery Stats Plus. You can find that on XDA. But yeah, so battery life is quite good. I mean, it's the thing with battery life, isn't it? Is that without a removable battery, you know, the battery life is going to have to be something special for people to be happy about it, and it never is going to be. I mean, the reason this device is so nice and it feels, to me, it's the perfect weight. It's just a little bit heavier than the One X, which means that it just makes it that little bit kind of more secure in your hand. I mean, it is slippy. I mean, you can put this on on the arm chair of the arm of your chair, and it will slide off quite easily, and it's one of those things. But the weight of it and the feel in your hand is a lot more reassuring. But that's what you get. You get that the sleek design because the battery is what it is. You want to add weight, you want to add thickness, then we go in the opposite way to that. So battery life is always going to be a contentious issue. But for me, it works. So I'm not really that fussed. In terms of your screen estate, obviously, you've got a 4.7-inch screen, but what you do is you lose some. One, because of these buttons here, which aren't hardware buttons, so they're on there. And obviously you've got this persistent search bar at the top as well. So, it does feel a bit smaller, the screen, because of that. The buttons disappear when you've got full screen apps. showing, not always time. So for example, if I play something like Fruit Ninja, the buttons stay there, which is frustrating because anyone who's played Fruit Ninja will know that one of the key things to playing Fruit Ninja is to actually do a lot of kind of this kind of stuff, all this, and I find so all too often I do that, I do that, and I'm in there. So you know, I wish that apps would just kind of generically get rid of them so that they're not on the screen at all. But you know, again, it's just one of those things that you either like or you don't like. The persistent search bar is always there, depending even what home screen you're on. So again, that's one of those things that may bug you. But obviously, it's a quick way of just getting into your voice search there, or even getting into your type search. So you know, all in all, it's not too bad. We've also got the new features in the camera. So obviously the camera now has touchscreen modifications. You can do HDR, you can do flash, all that kind of stuff, and you've also got the photosphere. Now the photosphere, alright, so in theory the idea of the photosphere is quite good, that you do quite a all-round panoramic, and you actually get to view these in maps, or if you post them to G+, you can view them by posting them there, which is good because you can have a good look around, a good panorama. But I mean, to tell you the truth, I've not got it to work very well, and I don't think it does work that well. I think it's one of those things that over time will actually improve. The stitching can sometimes be a bit off, so it's hit and miss basically, and it's not the reason to buy the phone at all. The camera itself, quality, yeah, it does the job. I mean, I don't think you can complain for these stats, the specs, sorry, of the phone. The camera's a reason not to buy it, because it's not that bad that you wouldn't buy the phone. I think it's quite good. I've put some example pictures on the review of HDR and a standard definition one, so you can see the quality of them, and they're quite good. And in low light, it works quite well as well. So yes, so the camera decent, but nothing to write home about. And in terms of like other cameras, you're going to find better cameras. One of the things I've had to install is this auto brightness, because one of the things about I found is that the auto brightness in general on Jelly Bean is a bit dull. I mean, I've used the auto brightness on its own, the Android version, and I just find it doesn't really do it for me. So I've installed this Lux one, which is quite good because it adjusts it. It's a bit dull, the generic auto brightness. I find that when you've got something like this in this kind of light, it just feels a little bit dull when you look at it. It just feels, you look at it and you think, it's not very nice, it's not that bad, but it's like that basically. And I do like it a bit brighter, a bit more vibrant. The screen itself is really nice. I mean, it's one of the best screens you'll get, without a doubt. Definitely in comparison, up to speed with something like the One X, which is a gorgeous screen. But like I say, it's just a bit dull on its own auto brightness. What else we've got? So obviously we've also got the new keyboard, which allows you to do. Let's get rid of that. Start a new tab, which allows you to do the swipe now, which I find works really well. If you do it too fast, it doesn't work great, but if you do it at decent speed, you can find that it works quite well. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good addition to Android 4.2, and it's definitely worth the effort to make that feature available. Another thing that you've got in here is the different Gmail. So I'm not going to show you Gmail because I've got loads of mail in there, but basically you can swipe the email to archive it, depending what box you're in. So if you're in your inbox, it does one thing. If you're in your labels, you can actually delete them as well. In terms of Performance, it's very fast, it's very snappy. I have had a couple of niggles with it. I think the main one being the Wi-Fi. I think that's the signal is a little weaker. I don't think the Wi-Fi is as strong as as I'm used to. I've definitely had better Wi-Fi radios when it comes to that. And I've also found that, well, I've had a random reboot or two for no reason, just reboots. But you know, these are just little niggles that you get over really. What else we've got? So obviously we've also got all the usual Google apps, the messaging. Your Chrome is installed by default, which is good because it's probably, you know, the best one. Another good thing is that you've got a little track light here, and basically will light up when you get emails, etc. Now it's good to have a little app that allows you to kind of play around with this light. So this, for example, trackball allows me to edit the basically the colours of the notifications. So in this case, let's say I've got email here. If I've got Gmail, I can decide to get it to flash cyan, or I can get it to flash orange, or I can get it to, you know, I get it to flash whatever colour I want. And that's dead good because you can change the speed of it as well. You know, there's all these modifications that you can do. So that's a nice little thing that you can get a third-party app to be able to adjust. And I guess that's one of the things. I think one of the things is I've got third-party apps here running a couple of things, running the auto brightness, running the trackball colour, but you know, these are things that just enhance it. They don't. It's not a bad thing about the phone itself. All in all, I mean, I've spent a week with this now, or just under a week, and it's one of those devices that, in a way, you can't fault. I mean, this price for this is, you know, it's amazing. I mean, I got this just by getting rid of my 1X, you know, and I've got a carrier-free phone now. And when my contract runs out, you know, this is still going to be up to date because it's a Google device that you know you're going to get the latest updates. Routing it is very easy. You know, it gives you some advantage for routing it. For example, using your tracker apps such as Cerberus, is how we pronounce it, I don't know, but anyway, that's useful at that, and things, you know, well, you've got to route it, and yeah, let's be honest, it's just one of those natural things to do. You also got the new clock, which I like the look of this. Some people aren't too keen on it, but I like it. You can quite easily just swipe away alarms, add new alarms. You've also got different time zones. You've got your little stopwatch there, which you can do that, and then for some reason you can share it if you want. You've also got your timer there, which allows you to do a countdown. There you go. So, you know, it's little things like that that just kind of make it interesting, a bit more useful as an app, so to speak. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, well, there's nothing bad I can say about it, really. I think it's a fantastic device for the price, for the specs, for everything, really. It's a no-brainer in my eyes. I think a device like this is definitely worth having. And if you want the pure Google experience, pure Android experience, which is the main reason I got this for that reason. You know, I wanted to see Android in its purest form, because I think even though there's a lot of good things about some of the manufacturer UIs, you know, nothing beats just having Android as it should be, really. And it just feels more natural to use than it does with some of the other manufacturer UIs. But yeah, so I mean, that's it really. I mean, like I said, I've done a better review on my website, darrenritchie.co.uk, so please go along and have a look, and ask questions as well, because you know, if there's anything particular you want to know, then by all means ask, and I'll gladly try and answer them as best I can. I've got some widgets on here just in case you want to ask. The text widgets is the Super Widget Pro, which gives you these text kind of widgets here, and allows you also to put one on the lock screen there, which is quite nice. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. And if you're waiting for this, then it's worth the wait, honestly, and you won't be disappointed when you do get it. But anyway, my name's Darren. This is my video, and thanks for watching.